Retirement is a lie, a joke, and a scam. Let me tell you a story, and then we'll talk about it. This is Joanne. She's got wrinkles all over her face. I'm old now, and I just retired. Time to live the good life, she said. So Joanne decided to visit an amusement park. Now I can ride those amusement park rides I've been meaning to for years, but never had the time to. So she took her old ass on a roller coaster ride. It whirled and it twirled and it went all around. Oh, my stars and gardens, Joanne complained. Oh, I'm in so much pain. I hurt my neck. My back can't feel my booty or my crack. Joanne rushed off the ride, and that's when her granddaughter Suzanne came. Oh my God, Grandma, are you okay? Suzanne worried. I got tinnitus, bronchitis, and arthritis. My pupils is dilated, and I feel it in the lumbago, Joanne rhymed. Now, Grandma, you know you was too old to be going on theme park rides anyways. These rides is fast. This ain't them back in the day rides, back in prehistoric times or whatever, with the dinosaurs and Cleopatra, okay? These rides will make you fall down. And if you fall down, I ain't getting your ass back up. You just gonna stay there. Cause I ain't calling Life Alert. Now Grandma took a moment and wondered who this little girl was talking to. So she broke the cane off on her head because Grandma Joanne don't play them games. Where did she get that cane all of a sudden? We actually don't know. I'm taking my ass home, Joanne said. So she took her ass home. I'm too old for fun now. Let's try the TV. You are not the father, the TV said. This is my shit. Joanne continued to watch her stories. Yes, this is so much fun. 12 hours later. It's still nice. At least I don't have to go to work. 12 weeks later. Let's try something else. So Joanne calls her children. Hey, sweetie, Joanne said. I can't talk right now, Mama. I'm busy being a productive adult. Unlike some people. Child number 2. Mama, why is you bothering me? I'm with my man. Don't you have old people stuff to do? Joanne didn't know what to do with herself. I don't know what to do with myself. My children don't ever visit me. To be continued. Hello, I'm Trenzel here for your self-growth, and today I will talk about why retirement as a concept is flawed. Number 1, we used to get pensions. Pensions were guaranteed income during retirement. Can you imagine that? Guaranteed income? It was a reward for working for 10 to 30 years in a company, putting so much of your life into a company. And as a reward, they guaranteed your retirement. However, pensions are gone now. They practically no longer exist. Only a handful of perhaps state companies, state-owned company government programs might offer pensions, but regular companies, they don't offer pensions anymore. And in their endless quest of profit maximization, they have gotten rid of the pension. Now what we have in replacement for the pension is the 401k and the IRA. The Roth IRA, the traditional IRA, these are investment vehicles meant to invest in the stock market. They're a replacement for the pension, and they pass the burden for the pension on to people that have jobs, onto the employees. But here's the thing that we might end up forgetting here, especially companies in their endless quest of profit maximization. They didn't consider, even governments didn't consider this. The reason why most people are poor or middle class is because they don't know anything about investing. So you pass the buck on to them, expecting they know how to invest their money, expecting they know what to do with it, expecting they know how to put it in the stock market and grow it. And they have no idea what to do with it, no idea how to do it, no idea where to put it. You put the burden and the risk onto them, you shifted it onto them. Except they have more to lose because they're not a Fortune 500 company. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to pass the burden on to people that are not financially literate. Now, that's not to say all people that work jobs are financially illiterate, but the vast majority of people do work regular traditional jobs in big companies. And these people aren't necessarily financially literate. Can you really say that the manager of McDonald's or a supervisor is financially literate enough to know exactly how to invest their money, or a person that works at Chipotle knows exactly what to do with their money and how to invest it. This is supposed to be a solution for all workers, all jobs, all people that work jobs. This is supposed to be the solution. And you put 10 to 20 years, 10 to 30 years, upwards of 30 years into a single company that can fire you at any moment. They can get rid of you at any moment. And they don't guarantee your retirement. They don't guarantee it with a pension. It's all on you. This system was made to benefit the employer over the employee. You want 10 to 30 years of my youth, of the best years of your life health-wise. And you won't even guarantee the retirement. Number 2, the concept of retirement is a joke, and a flawed one at that. You spend all of the best years of your life, the best years your body will ever give you, your youth, working a job for many years, just so that you can have the possibility of saving for retirement. Not even a guarantee of it, but just to save for retirement. With inflation constantly eating at the money that you have. You have barely enough savings to get by. And what savings you do have gets ate up by inflation. So you're constantly saving. The savings you get gets eaten up by inflation. So it goes down, which means it is necessary for you to invest. But see, here's the difference between affluent or rich people investing and middle class people, poor people, lower middle class, even some upper middle class people. When they invest for retirement, the stock market goes up or down, that's their whole retirement that they're risking. A rich person, they probably invest like what? A few million? If they lose half of that, they still got what? Still $1 million or so. Not that big of a deal. And it'll just go right back up. Whereas you save for retirement, you invest for retirement, that money goes away. Well, you better hope it didn't go away while you're retired. Society has trained us well to try to save every dime we get, to try to invest every dime we get. And if we don't do that, we shame ourselves. We feel bad about ourselves. We feel like we're stupid. We feel like we're not doing a good job. All because these companies decided, hey, we're not going to offer you guaranteed retirement anymore. So it's on you to save. You don't want to do that? Oh, well, it's your problem. So we feel shamed for it. And we internalize this shame. By listening to the little voice inside our head, we internalize the negative experience of the shame of not saving enough money to retire, not saving enough money to live comfortably in retirement, something that we should be guaranteed. We shame ourselves by listening to the little voice in our head. Little voice inside your head, ain't nobody gonna save your old ass. You're gonna be in the homes with the Alzheimer's, dementia, and Crohn's. You're gonna need sponge baths from Vanessa. But don't worry, she ain't gonna want it because you're gonna need super Viagra to get it up. The extra large pills, thicker than your face, wider than your head, and as long as your 2 front teeth. Yeah, that one. But let's keep it for real though. You ain't gonna retire. And that Social Security check ain't checking like it used to check. Not like you're gonna get it. Full retirement age keeps going up, my boy. By the time you get up there, it's gonna be like 89. And you know what else is going up? Inflation. And it's gonna inflate the rest of your savings account straight in the trash. Oh, what was that? You ain't got no savings? Best play the stock market game. 401k, IRA, Roth, and the IRS too. You better listen to the little voice inside your head. Listen. The only thing that's going to retire around here is both of your knees. The IRA, Roth, and stock market squeeze. Fill it and freeze until you get heart disease. I got expertise. Don't do what you please. Invest it for me. Even if you disagree, no guarantees. I told you put your money in the IRA, Roth, and stock market, please. All right then. Number 3, the rich don't need to retire. For many of the affluent, retirement isn't even an issue. So why are we working for everyone else's benefit but our own? For example, we work for the benefit of companies that we work for, of our employers. We work for the benefit of the government in terms of tax revenue. We work for the benefit of our bills, paying the mortgage, paying the car loans, paying this off, paying that off. Notice how none of that works for us necessarily. The main thing that we're working for is other people. You can even put people that you care about in this category too, because again, you're working for others. because of your responsibilities. But what does that job give to you? The affluent don't usually retire. People like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Oprah, and Bob Proctor, and countless other rich people, they don't retire. Why? They don't need to. Because they were following their passions. That's what they're doing. They're following their passions, so they never needed to retire in the first place. They built up a lot of money, so they don't need to retire. We work, and I think this is a pitfall here, we work toward saving money to retire, but we never work toward expanding our money to retire. Both of them are legitimate. Working to build more money so that you can retire is just as much of a legitimate strategy as saving money. Using me as an example of this, I decided to not just save money and not just focus on saving money, but instead shift my focus toward also working toward my passions, which is part of the reason why I have this YouTube channel. Look at me. I'm like doing something like I'm taking a risk doing this. But here's the thing. You'd also be taking a risk in the stock market. You'd also be taking a risk. Going to college, you risk also not getting a job that is aligned with the degree. No matter what you do in life, you're also taking a risk. It's just that these risks are traditional risks that everyone takes. It's well-known risks. And that makes them feel more comfortable because you know of them. You're familiar with them. Whereas risks like starting a business or YouTube or e-commerce, those are unknown risks for most people. They don't know what that entails. It is a non-traditional path. So I want to focus more so on my passions, even if it's not necessarily the traditional path. I want to focus more on building myself up in my passions. And that's why I did YouTube. That's why I'm doing YouTube now, as a way to fulfill what I'm passionate about, and a way to share self-growth because I'm passionate about that. And I also am in school too. Being in school, I'm now able to pursue more, because again, I'm in school for finance, so I'm able to pursue that as a passion of mine too. So you can align your career with your passions. And this is what's important, because if you do it properly, if you do it the right way, you could end up in a situation where you don't actually want to retire. You're happy with where you're at. You're happy with where you're going. But more than that, you can expand the money that you make, potentially. You could take a risk. Take the risk to expand the money that you have, to expand the money that you're able to make. And then by doing that, you can have more money to work with, possibly far more money to save. It's just as valid of a strategy to have more money. I wonder why people don't have the ambitions to become an executive. They make countless dollars. They don't have to worry about retirement. Yet these high dreams and aspirations, very high ones that are non-traditional, oftentimes we're scorned for them instead of embraced for them, instead of saying, yes, you can do it. Because people think of it as too risky. People have their own misconceptions about it. You only need to succeed at it one time. You succeed one time, you're set. If this video is giving you value, please remember to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, because I won't like a few subscribe, like 2 different ones actually, not even just like 2, because I'm a greedy peoples. We won't like a level of subscribables. If you like this video, subscriber, you just press that button and you like the video. And please tell me how your journey of retirement is going. Is it working out for you? Is it not working out for you? How are things on the retirement end for you? Tell me about them in the comments below. Also, stay tuned, because I will be giving you the takeaway for this video, because the takeaway isn't just me complaining, okay? I'm not just a complaining peoples, okay? I'm not. I swear this video has a point other than just me complaining about the stuff. I'm trying to bring some stuff to your attention. Number 4, retirement is a cure for being in a job that is both underpaid and that you don't like. Think about that for a second. The reason why most of us want to retire is because of the fear of becoming old and becoming unhealthy, becoming decrepit, our bodies failing us. So we're literally unable to continue working, especially an extraneous job. We're literally unable to continue working because we get too old for it. And that is completely understandable and legitimate. That is a completely understandable and legitimate reason to want to retire and to work toward retirement. However, there is another reason that is far more sinister. We don't really even talk about it all that much. The sinister reason explaining this, actually, before I move on, the big sinister reason is we don't like our jobs. That's the real reason here. That's the real reason we want to retire. That's the reason we throw this big party. We throw this big retirement party because we don't like our jobs. We say, finally, we don't have to get up and go to work all the time. So it becomes a cure, a solution for an issue of disliking our job, of not being in a job that we're passionate about, of not being a job we love. The problem is that we have to constantly work and work and work for money. And the only solution that we have to stop working for money, to solve the capitalist issue that we have is, well, now you can retire. Now you don't have to work for money anymore. Now you're good. Now you can reap the fruits of your harvest. But that's becoming more and more unstable. Without pensions, with the stock market doing whatever it wants to do, God only knows. It's completely detached from reality at this point. With the economy coming up and coming down, and with the middle class feeling more and more squeezed by inflation, how confident are you that retirement is going to work out for you? So we created a solution of, you don't like your job? Well, you can retire later on in the last 20 years of your life. But in exchange, you give us 10 to 30 years of your life. Oh, no, that's not enough, actually, because the retirement age keeps going up. So let's just say 50 now. You give us all that time of your youth. So that way you can enjoy the end of it. Maybe. That's the sinister thing behind retirement that no one really talks about nearly that much. Retirement is about enjoying the last few years of your life in harmony and peace and happiness. It whispers in your ear the promise of all the happiness that you wanted, free from work, free from your job. It whispers that in your ear, but only for the last and arguably worst years health-wise. And it's not even a guarantee. Jobs steal our youth. And in exchange, it promises no guarantee for retirement. There's no better reason to take all of this into our own hands because they're not giving us a choice in the matter. Do we really have a valid reason to want to retire other than for our health, because our health deteriorates over time? If your only valid reason for wanting to retire is because you don't want to work your job, you want to be free of your job, that simply proves my point. The problem with your job is the fact that you don't like it. The problem with most people's job is the fact that they don't like it. And we put on this show and tell talking about, oh, we're so passionate to work at McDonald's and flip a hamburger. So that way we get hired. So that way we can actually feed ourselves. Because we're all stuck in a capitalist system. Let me just move on. Not that way, not up. Okay. Over there. Number 5, my takeaway. Am I suggesting that you shouldn't save money for retirement? Absolutely not. Saving is important, especially nowadays. You should save as much as you can, reasonably save, in order to retire safely and happily, because your health might very well decline. In fact, eventually it's pretty much guaranteed to. And with social safety nets of the government not necessarily being guaranteed, especially nowadays, saving for retirement becomes more important than ever. And the only real way that you can retire, that most people can retire, is through investing. They've put us between a rock and a hard place here. So you definitely do have to save. The point here is not that I'm advising you not to, obviously. The point here is a mindset shift. Retirement was meant to solve the issue of us not liking the job in the first place, of us having a job that we weren't passionate about. So you want to realign yourself with your passions. You want to realign yourself with what makes you happy. You want to live for more than just your obligations, your children, your spouse, your parents, your bills, your employers, your basic human needs of feeding yourself and clothing yourself and so on. You want to live for more than just that. And so it's so important to realign yourself with your passions and have a job or a career path that is aligned with that. The goal here is to make the day-to-day life on your journey towards retirement happy and fulfilling. Because the issue here with retirement is it whispers in our ear and it creates these lies, and society perpetually says, oh, you can enjoy yourself once you finally retire and you're done with the job. People look so forward to their retirement. Oh, I'm looking so forward to my retirement in 5 years and 10 years and 7 years. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I won't have to work anymore. I want you to understand, the more you value your retirement, the less you value your now. I can say this with high confidence. You will never be healthier than you are now. There's a very high likelihood that your health is on a very slow downward trajectory. You will never be healthier than you are right now. I have a very high confidence in saying that. And we all know that. We all inherently know that. As we get older, our body accumulates more and more issues and more problems that we have to deal with. It slowly breaks down. And we're expected to enjoy ourselves at that point. Now we don't have a job because we can't have a job anymore because our body done broke down. We can't have a job anymore. Now I can finally enjoy myself at this point. That's what you're going to value? It's important to place some value on that, of course. But the more you value, it's a balance. The more you value your future self, the less you value your current self. So what's the balance here? That's a question you have to ask for you. What I want to do, and I'm hoping to do with this video, is just point out the importance of that balance and point out the fact that you, if you're valuing retirement heavily, you are likely undervaluing your present moment. You're saying, well, I can't do A, B, and C because of this job. I can't do A, B, and C because of these obligations. So you're going to wait until you're 80 years old to do it? Here's the big thing, though. If you even make it to 80. What if you die at age 75? That's a pretty common enough dying age. Yeah, that's pretty common enough. Especially for people under all this stress in life. That's a very common age to die at. So you retire what, 67? That gives you what, 8 years? Because again, my initial assumption was 20. You could have less than that. My grandfather had less than that. I believe he worked into his 70s. If he would have retired right at his 70s, he would have only had what? Less than 5 years of retirement before he died. Less than 5 years. You finally enjoy yourself, but only for a few years. This is what we're working towards. Sure, you might live long. You might live to 100. Who knows? But if you outlive your retirement, now you're screwed again. Do you see why it's important to enjoy where you're at now? All right, then. Let's continue our story. Pick up where we left off at. Joanne passed away her time being mostly alone and watching TV. I thought retirement would be more fun. Now that I got all this time, I don't know what to do with it. I know I didn't save up all this money for all this time just to be boring. Joanne thought long and hard and eventually thought of a plan. I should have enjoyed my youth more. I know. I remember I used to love to sing and dance. Let me reconnect with my passions from back in the day. So, she made a rap. I got tinnitus, bronchitis, arthritis. My legs on 10, my rap applies pressure. Check my pressure, what's it measure? Don't mess with me, best believe Suzanne is gonna check my Medicare plan. Yes, I got the cane. I'ma bring the pain when I rock you in the brain. Better act right and check my Medicare plan. I got tinnitus, bronchitis, arthritis. My legs on 10. This is Joanne, and she rediscovered her passions. Look at this. Look at the video over there and the video over there. Ain't they beautiful videos? I talked about a thing, and I made it. It's like I'm a YouTuber, people, and I might get like 1 or 2 subscribers. This and that. 1, 2. See? And look, it's sexy. Bye.